Why so many artists go broke.
Why do you say he's broke?
Because everybody in the industry broke. They live off borrowed money. If Baby got $8 million, his disco account say $8 million negative. And he got to pay that back at a 70%, 100% recoup rate. That means Baby not making money. That means all the money he make go towards that balance. And with a 100% recoup rate, you never recoup.
If you're not getting it touring, or if you're not getting it through other means, this music shit is a rap. I'm saying all of the musicians are broke.
Knowledge is key, and you can't blame the system, because the system gonna keep going.
Well, from the outside, it looks impossible. Fame, money, attention, sold out shows, millions of streams, and yet behind the image, many artists struggle financially. Some quietly, some suddenly, some after years of success. And when it happens, people ask the wrong question. They ask, how did they blow all that money? Instead of asking, how was the system set up? See, the story of artists going broke is usually told as a cautionary tale. Bad spending, poor choices, and lack of discipline. But when the same outcome repeats across generations of artists, across genres, across decades, it stops being personal. It becomes structural. Artists don't go broke because they fail to earn. They go broke because of how earning is designed. See, fame and income are not the same thing. Visibility creates the illusion of wealth. But attention does not equal ownership. Streams do not equal control. And popularity does not equal stability. The system rewards exposure first and security last. Many artists begin with an advance. It looks like success, a large sum of money, upfront validation, momentum. But advances aren't income, they're loans. Loans that must be repaid before an artist sees real earnings. And a repayment doesn't come from profits, it comes from gross revenue. Before artists get paid, the system gets paid back. Recording costs, marketing, videos, travel, promotion, all deducted. Only after recoupment does income begin. For many artists, that moment never arrives. Why streaming doesn't solve the problem. Streaming increased access, but decreased control. Pre-stream payouts are small. Volume is required to survive, and if volume favors constant output, algorithm compliance, and trend alignment. Artists are pressured to release more, faster, and cheaper. Longevity becomes difficult. See, artists don't just earn. They spend continuously. Managers, lawyers, publicists, stylists, security, transportation. Success creates overhead. And overhead doesn't disappear when attention fades. In the music industry, image is currency. Looking successful keeps opportunities alive. But maintaining the image costs money. Cars, clothes, jewelry, travel. Spending becomes strategic, not indulgent. If you stop looking successful, the system assumes you are no longer relevant. See, touring is not pure profit. Tours look lucrative, but touring is expensive. Crew salaries, equipment, transportation, insurance, lodging. A tour can generate millions and still leave artists with little margin, especially if they don't own the tour infrastructure. So what is it all about? Ownership. Ownership is the real divide. The biggest difference between artists who survive and artists who struggle is ownership. Who owns the masters? Who controls licensing? Who benefits long term? Most artists trade ownership for access early. By the time leverage exists, contracts are already signed. At this point, the pattern becomes clear. Artists don't go broke because they fail to earn. They go broke because income is delayed, costs are front-loaded, ownership is rare, and image is mandatory. The system extracts value before stability appears. So short careers are by design. Music careers are fast now. Trends move quickly, attention cycles shorten, and audiences move on. Systems reward novelty over development. This makes long-term planning difficult, especially when income is unpredictable. So artists often experience financial whiplash. Large checks followed by silence. Inconsistent income creates inconsistent planning. When money feels temporary, spending often becomes defensive. Not reckless, defensive. People often say artists need better financial education, but education doesn't override structure. Knowing the rules doesn't change the game. Artists are navigating systems designed for extraction, not protection. Early in a career, leverage is low. Opportunities feel rare. Saying no feels dangerous. This leads to contracts that solve short-term problems but create long-term limits. Survival replaces strategy. And this is why comebacks are hard. Once momentum slows, systems withdraw support. Marketing budgets shrink, exposure declines, and opportunities disappear. But the expenses often remain. Recovery becomes harder without infrastructure. The industry sells the idea of breakthrough. One hit, one deal, one moment. But stability isn't created by moments. It's created by systems that support sustainability. And most artists don't control those systems. So comparing artists to entrepreneurs? Artists are often told to think like entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurs usually own their product, control pricing, and set timelines. Artists often control none of these. The comparison breaks down. When artists go broke, it's not because success betrayed them, it's because success was never designed to protect them. The system value output, not endurance. Because the systems work. New artists replace old ones, attention stays fresh, costs stay external. The cycle continues, not because it's cruel, but because it's efficient. Invisible systems don't announce their rules. They normalize outcomes. Over time, people stop asking, why does this keep happening? And start saying, that's just how it goes. See, artists don't go broke because they lack talent. They don't go broke because they lack ambition. They go broke because the system rewards exposure, extracts value early, and delays stability indefinitely. Understanding this doesn't remove pressure, but it explains the pattern. This is Invisible Systems Docs.